All right, so I was on mute. Hi, guys. My name is Jader. I am the founder of High Ticket Sales, an organization dedicated to helping people become highly effective in the art of high ticket sales. I train people to become closers, not salespeople. I train sellers to set deals, not appointments. All right, perfect. Today we're going to do something totally different than how we do things typically. Now, this is going to happen. I'm going to try to do this once a month. I'm going to react to an artist, and I'm going to find a number that can have that connection, a number that has a connection to high ticket sales and how we do things in high ticket. And I saw this. The only reason why I'm doing this, or I decided to do this, is because when I saw this guy perform, it was exactly what I teach and train people on, is being something totally unexpected. What you're going to see today, if you haven't seen it, you're gonna be mesmerized. If you've seen it, you know you always get those goosebumps every time you see this guy, right? So we're gonna react to a beatboxer, a beatbox artist, right? It's incredible how much this art has progressed. But what's more incredible to me is that this one guy is the difference. I mean, this guy is the one step up from everybody else. And I know there are phenomenal beatboxers out there, but this guy is incredible. And the way that he presents his art is incredible. If you have seen, if this is the first time that you see one of my videos about where I train and teach people how to become effective high ticket closers, you will learn that I'm all about psychology. Forget about the technical information. This, when you're selling high ticket, an intangible product, a service, it's about the psychology. It's about what people can accomplish with what you're selling, provided that you're working for an ethical company. All right. So we are going to jump right into this, and we're going to analyze step by step what this guy is going to do for us here. Right. It's incredible, guys. I'm telling you. All right, so we're gonna go right into it. I think it's right here. Right here. All right. I need someone to let me know if this is working. All right. So before I get into this, all right. So this is the artist right here that we're gonna analyze. And the title, the way that I put the title here is reaction to the song or the tune that the number that he's going to perform is called Feel the Future. His name is Improver. I'm sure you guys have seen him before. So we're gonna take a look at this, and we are going to stop and react to what he's doing. Okay, let's do this. All right, so let's start. All right, boom. All right. All right. So right there, I know for a fact that if this is the first time that you're seeing this guy, you were probably just looking. I played it, and you were in like, it took you a couple of nanoseconds to go, wait, what? How is it doing that? How is it doing that? Right? But notice how whatever it is that he's doing, he's not being loud. He's not doing anything fast. But here's the most important part. It doesn't sound like he's got all the magic tricks out, but you know this is already different than anything that you've heard before, provided that you haven't heard this guy. And if you've seen this before, then you know the first time this is what you felt. He's just subtle. He's not rushing. He's giving you time for you to kind of settle in, because at some point there was that shocking factor where you were like, what? And he's going to give you the time for you to just settle down. But here's the most important part. He's going to be paying attention to everything that makes you react. Every single instant that you hear him you're going to react. It's exactly the way that you have to approach a conversation with a prospect. They're going to expect, here's the problem. When you call someone, you are calling into a disadvantage for you. So you need to turn that disadvantage into an advantage. That means that your prospect is going to be here on top of the steps, and you're down here at the bottom of the steps. Your job is to create so much, to make so much of a big impression in this person up here that you switch places. Now the guy is the one who wants to listen to you, because once this guy does the introduction, you want to listen. Now you open up, he's going to open up your curiosity box, and you want to know what's next, what's coming up next. All right. So let's go for the kill. Now you're going to see the transition. He's going to do the transition right now. And now, tell me that you're not getting those goosebumps. Let's bring it more to the table. All right. So, what's going on right now is he came in at a paced rate. He didn't rush. He didn't come with all the colors, but he came with enough strategy for you to pay attention and to know that you're about to start, that you're about to enter a territory that you have not seen before. So the second point, and I have everything written down because I always take notes. The first point is how you should deliver something no one expects. And that's going to be the theme of the entire comparison and the entire system and strategy of you pitching on the phone for high ticket, especially when you're a setter, even when you're a closer. This goes for both, all right? So how you should deliver something. Remember, he came very paced, very relaxed, but he came with a proposition that you never expected. That's how he did. That's exactly what you have to do. This is a very psychological game, guys, right? The second point, and I already made that point, is start making a statement. When he made that transition, now that I was relaxed with the prospect, now that I gave him something that he never expected, and I opened up his perception, and he's curious to know more about me, not about me, but about the reason why I'm giving him a call. Now I'm going to make a statement. That's what he did. If you wanted to listen to what was going to come up next, because you know the first second that you heard this guy, you knew that you're gonna start going through things that you didn't expect. You already know that. So that's how you have to set the tune with the person in the first seconds of the conversation, right? So now the second part is start making a statement so they know they're in for a ride. So let's go. Let's take you through that right now.
Feel the future.
Right now, what you're saying is, how the hell is he doing that? How is it that he's doing those many sounds coming out of the same throat, the same mouth? You're not expecting any of this. The one common theme throughout this entire presentation that I have this guy is, how the hell is he doing this? And that's exactly what the feeling that you have to bring to the table. Now, they're not going to be thinking, because this is, they're going to be feeling it. They're going to be feeling, oh, feels like a different conversation. I have never had this conversation with anybody before. That's the reason why now, when you pick up the speed, when you pick up the emphatical behavior or the emphatical, or you pick up the emphasis, now you're going to let them know, and you're going to firmly place the reason why you're calling with the strain that is comparable to the moment where you're in the journey that you're starting to take a prospect into. All right. This is it right here. All right. So let's look at the next step that he does, that he takes, right? What goes on in the background leaves a print stronger than what is said loudly. Um, if you go back, once you have a chance and you go back and listen to this guy, you're gonna hear that in the beginning when he starts slowly, he's gonna do something that sounds very quiet, but is probably the most dangerous part of this number, of this song, is that quiet noise that he makes, like almost an echoey sound. What's not said in the conversation, it's what matters the most. And this is something that you're gonna do and the prospect is gonna do as well. You are going to have a conversation with an underlying tone. Concepts that are being said underlying underneath what's being said with your voice and your words, right? Which is the one thing that will make your prospect respect you or not. If you lack the ability to always have that over layer, something that is backing up your statement, which is your words and how you say things are going to they're going to be backed up by something called character. All right. For this guy to do what we're seeing him he's doing, he has to have character. He has to have personality. He has to have confidence. If you lack confidence, personality, and character, it doesn't matter what you're going to say. It's not going to sound with the effect that you're trying to bring over, right? Bring to the table, right? Let's see how this guy turns the volume up, all right? Let's find out what's next for this guy. You want more, right? Now, changing the tune. That's what you need to do when you're on the phone. You got to change the speed. You have to change the emphasis. This is the magic in someone truly under fire. Now you want to hear more of this guy. You want to hear. Now you slow down. Look at the way he slows down. Now that he has you all the way at the peak of your feelings, now he's going to bring you back down. He's going to make you regain your consciousness. You went for a ride, so you take your prospect through this journey, this first journey, and he's going to be super impressed, and but at some point, he's going to expect that you punch him in the groin or hurt in the stomach, right? And instead of doing that, you calm down and you bring him back down. And that's when you make the difference. That's when it's just the tone you use, the way you the accelerate, the way you let them just enjoy what they just heard, right? Because you took them through this ride and now you slow down. And that's how you're going to play with their psychology. You're going to speed up, you're going to slow down, you're going to make them feel something they never felt before. And it's like, one of the things that I love is making feel someone that I am committed for as long as you show me respect. If you stop showing me respect, I'm not committed to this conversation. I'm not committed to keep the conversation with you. And that's something that I do, and I know exactly when to do that. You're going to learn that once you are trained. When I train you, you're going to learn when is it that people sometimes they do that on purpose too. They have strategies too. And sometimes they catch themselves being very excited and they're going to say, I can't show that much excitement because that's how they blindside people. And then they're going to come up with a catch and I'm not going to see it. It's like almost like people expect that you get their credit card number and process their credit card without them knowing, which is dumb, but somehow people think that. And it's not like they can they'll ever verbalize it or say it, but it's almost like a fear. Like they don't know they have that fear, but the fear that they might be gotten into something that they never really agreed to. That's their fear. But when you slow down and you make your retreat and you let them know I'm going to be committed as long as you are. This is what he's doing right now. He's telling you, I'm going to be committed, but you got to come into this section of the number of the song and listen to this because we're gonna rest right now. We're gonna relax. And when you play, you turn the speed, the speed knob up and down. It's a roller coaster of emotions that you take your customer into, your prospect into. And this is the reason why you're gonna have far more superiority than another salesperson or a salesperson who gives them a call. You're not a salesperson, you're gonna become a closer. Remember that. You're not setting appointments, you're setting up deals. Fascinating. Let's keep looking at this guy. It's going up. Well, back up. Let's get back on the roller coaster. Let's get back up there, right? And now it's going to be more dangerous. Now you're going to pick up the seriousness of this call and you're going to let him know serious as this. Incredible. Get back to me. Now you're interactive. I want to hear more. You know what? Tell me how much you expected the nose thing to come up. Somebody doing the nose. I've never seen that before. I never saw it until I saw this guy. I personally haven't seen it. Maybe you have seen it with other people, but this guy, and if he does it, and if others, they don't really do it that much. But here is what's going to happen at the end. And you're going to see, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen per se as far as what he's going to do, but I'm going to tell you at the end, you're going to run and find another video with more about him. Like you have to know about him. And you're going to learn his name because that's how he is going to keep closing you after he's done with the song. And that's precisely what I train people on how to keep selling even after you hang out. They have to remember your name. They have to remember the feelings that you took him through. And that's how I know when I close for a setter that did his job is when the prospect keeps bringing the setter in by first name. My name is extremely weird, Jader. But if I set you up, I guarantee you they're going to remember that they talked to a Jader, a name they never heard before. All right. So let's weave out of this one. Listen to the background sound. Right there. All right. I wanted to share this with you guys because I think this is incredible. Hey, shout out to Joey and Rose. They're here. Thank you so much. You guys finally made it. Awesome. Just wanted to make the comparison, guys. How when we make the difference, just by making the difference, that's how we get people to remember us, and that's how we gain people's trust. And this is the reason why I encourage you to be very careful and very selective as to whom you work for, because you might work for a company that's scamming people, and you're going to be scamming people with that much power. You can scam people on behalf of somebody else. Make sure that you're going to work for somebody who's delivering, who's giving the fulfillment for what people pay for. Because this is surprisingly, and I know that a lot of people that I've trained, they never thought they could do things like this, that they could get on the phone and then just 2 calls get people to give them $20,000 over the phone with their credit card. Because it's not just $20,000 that they're giving you the information to a credit card with every single piece of that information, where you can really do harm if you're not the right person. So Hopefully the company that you're working for, it's an ethical company. Hopefully you're an ethical person, because you are really taking these people's lives into your hands, with the type of power that you learn when you learn this type of power. Because when you gain then their trust, they will follow you and they'll do what you ask them to do because they believe in you. All right. Wanted to share this. My name is Jader. I'm the founder of Black Label Closers, an organization dedicated to help people become highly effective in the art of high ticket sales. Please join our school community, skool.com. You can ask questions. You can get the free course. You can sign up for the $97 course. It's valued at $1,000, but I always want to be empathetic to your beginning. Since you're starting this, you can get into the $97, which is $1,000, but you pay only $97 to make that investment. And if you really want to get down and dirty, you can sign up for the partnership program, where you get to sell the program, the sales training, and we share 50% for Black Label Closers, 50% for you. You can go to www.blacklabel-closers.com. You can go to come here every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to learn more, go to school, ask questions, and we can interact. Together we can conquer the world. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'll talk to you next time.